YouTube is up. Good morning. Facebook is live. All right. So I'm right on time. That was going to be a little early, but you know that never happens. The animals have left. Sorry, got started. So today we're going to have what I've called Let Gravity Do It class. So I'm rehabbing my shoulder, and that's only part of the story. One of the stretches that the physical therapist has me doing is this really great passive chest opener that I had kind of forgotten about. So we'll do that for sure. But I sort of decided to build on that theme, right? So pretty much every pose that we're going to be doing today is going to have gravity doing the work, right? So like something like this pose here, this half airplane or whatever you want to call it, right? This is working against gravity, right? We're just going to let it do the work rather than having to work against it so much. That doesn't mean everything just flops, right? So keep integrity in mind as we go through. This is probably going to be a little shorter. It will definitely not be intense, right? That doesn't mean it might not be challenging, right? You might have to assist, which is what the props are for. So if you don't have a bolster or a yoga blanket or a yoga block, don't worry about it. Find a pillow, right? Maybe find a rolled towel or if you have an extra yoga mat, you can roll that up like so. And we'll use some props, right? So go ahead and grab whatever you have handy, right? Instead of a block, if you have a stack of books, if anyone keeps books anymore, as long as they don't slide around on you, it's really no big deal. Anything. You don't have to spend money to do yoga pretty much ever, right? So yeah, just like I said, we're gonna just kind of chill into it. I'm not much of a restorative person. Morning time. So this is as close to restorative yoga as I probably will ever get. Not ever, but you know the idea. So grab a couple of things handy. You can use the towel to roll and to fold, right? So just take what you got and we'll get started. We are going to start standing then, right? And if you have never been able to do it because maybe your hamstrings are very tight, just letting your body hang over can use gravity to lengthen your spine. So if tight hamstrings get in your way, and this is about as good as that gets, right? And that's okay. We're going to bend in through the knees today. We're going to let the shoulders down and maybe just grab opposite elbow and let the head hang. Right? You'll get a little bit of the same effect, right? Another time, not today, obviously. If you lay like with your legs like on your belly, but with the tops of your legs on your bed, usually the beds are high enough, unless you're very tall, sorry. And lay with your upper body over, so it's hanging down. It's really only a half fold, but you get that really great gravity thing going. It's really delicious. So just keep that in mind for another time, but we'll kind of simulate it here. Right? So standing at the top of the mat, toes pointing forward, feet even through the middles, right? Pressing down into the floor, we're going to set our alignment up for now. Right? And again, we'll play with that a little bit. Lifting the pelvic floor, the lower belly's in and up or tall through our sides, but relax through the shoulders and see if you can really let them hang. Like your arms feel so ridiculously heavy that gravity starts to pull along the tops of the shoulders. Right? So even in this more active position, right, you're letting gravity work a little bit. Standing extra tall, crown of the head to the ceiling. Closing your eyes, being present in your body, always. Focusing on your breath. And allowing that breath to expand. And today we're going to focus more even on the exhalations. So we think about taking a breath, and we always think about drawing in, right? See if as you exhale, it can ground you deeper, right? So standing might be a little hard to get that effect, but you'll feel it when we start to move. Staying connected to the yoga breath, especially tuned into those exhalations. Inhale, lifting the arms. And exhale to lower. Again. And then once more. So leaving the hands down at your sides. Again, really letting the shoulders just kind of drip toward the floor. Right? Keeping the feet even into the mat. Gently tip yourself over to the left here. Let this left hand get really, really heavy, pulling you over. Mm-hmm. We don't want to just flop, so the feet are even into the mat still. And you get a little bit of stretch there, right? If it's enough, it's enough. Otherwise, start taking that right arm up, maybe toward the ceiling. Feel like the weight kick in, right? And then bring it over the right ear a little bit to intensify the stretch with using gravity, right? And you take as much or as little of that as you want. You can even let this right arm kind of dangle, right? So the bicep might meet the ear. Take another breath here. Nice and easy. Bring yourself back up to the top. And we're going to do the same thing on the second side. So go ahead and kind of tip your body over to the right. You can just feel this right arm really heavy, dragging toward the floor. And that'll only go so far, right? Adding the left arm in as much or as little as your body needs. Again, just let the weight of your body pulling you into the stretch. Another nice big breath. And then gently bringing it back up as you inhale. Releasing the arms. So if that felt great, leave it, right? Don't mess with it. We're going to tip over to the left again, but this time maybe add on a little bit more body weight. Again, more or less up to you. The arms are going to stretch up toward the ceiling. Okay? Keep the shoulders relaxed, so those tops of the shoulders are still kind of sinking down. And now start to hinge over to the left. And again, the arms can remain extended. You can kind of bend. That opposite elbow thing works here too. Try to stay strong in your feet so you're not falling over. And then with an inhale, bring it back up again. Go ahead and release your arms for a second, and roll your shoulders if you feel like you need to. And then move to that second side. So arms extended. Start to hinge over. If it's too much, let the right arm fall. Maybe let the left arm droop. If you want to grab opposite elbow, again, make it yours, but make it about gravity. Just how much you get gravity. And then we'll inhale, bring it back up again. And release. All right. So hands on the thighs, lean as much as you need into the thighs here and bring it forward into your fold. So if you can have your legs straight and be relaxed with your upper body, go for it. Otherwise, a little bend in through the knees. And we're going to do that grabbing opposite elbow thing again here and just let yourself hang. Take your time in getting there because, we don't always end where we start. So wherever that is, straight legs, bent knees, whatever you got to do, let your head hang. Maybe even sway a little bit side to side. Let your head nod and shake a little bit here. And just really imagine your spine lengthening, the crown of your head toward the floor-ish. Take just a couple more breaths here. And then make your way down onto hands and knees. So we're going to move through cat-cow, and obviously when the spine is reaching toward the ceiling, you're fighting against gravity, right? But then we can really feel the difference when we sink. So inhale, drop your belly toward the floor. Pull the shoulders together on the back, but feel like it's because you're weighted, not necessarily because you're squeezing. Feel the difference? And then go ahead and exhale and round your spine toward the ceiling. Tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone. And then switch it back up again and just let your belly be heavy. Chest sinking toward the floor. Exhale, lifting the spine. Inhale, let it fall toward the floor. Do a couple more like that. When you move belly toward the floor here, hold it. And just really feel the chest kind of sink through the shoulders, your belly drop toward the floor. How much you lift your butt and your face is up to you, right? But just see if you can get that heavy feeling through the middle. And then find the middle again. Neutral. So from here, go ahead and drop your hips back toward your heels and take a child's pose. So if there is any tension here, right, if you feel like you can't quite get your butt back, or you can't quite get your belly to your thighs, or whatever it might be, right, that's when you use a prop. Right, and bring the floor to you. Right? You've got a little mat, you've got your block, whatever you have here to support whatever feels like it can't quite sink. And for now, maybe leave the arms extended out or forward and, wherever they end up. But just forward of the body. And if you're propped, you can absolutely stay where you are, wherever wherever you are most comfortable. Otherwise, maybe open your knees. You can open your feet too, and just really kind of sink lower even. And that might be even more comfortable with a prop. From there, if you are propped, go ahead and move it out of the way. If your knees are still together, maybe open them a little bit. And we're just going to kind of slide forward like a snake down into the belly. And maybe it's super graceful and maybe it's a train wreck, but whatever, it doesn't matter. For a second, you can prop your head up on your folded hands here if you like. Maybe resting your forehead. But just let your body sink to the floor. So maybe you're feeling your lower back a little bit here. Maybe you're feeling across your chest. Maybe it's down into your hips. Just really feel like you're heavy in this position. I'm a belly sleeper, so this is too relaxing for me. We're going to take the left arm out off the shoulder. Right, palm face down. Yeah. And try to keep that hand in line with the shoulder versus letting it end up down by your hips here. So you might already feel a nice little stretch in through your shoulder, maybe into your chest a little bit. But if you can, we're going to start to roll the body to the left. And you roll the body until you feel enough stretch. Again, keeping in mind that the hand should not be down by your hips. You can let your head hang. You can take the right arm back, like you're going to reach for your left hand, right? That adds a little bit more gravity. Add a little bit more body weight, which increases the gravity. And then gently roll yourself back to the middle and switch to the right arm. So again, just extending it out right off the shoulder here. If it's enough, you don't have to do anything else. Otherwise, you just start to roll. Adding or not. And then we're going to roll back to the middle again. And bring the hands in. So working against gravity here just a little bit because you got to get back up, and I'm not sure how you do that with gravity. So keeping the elbows in, make your way up, back into your child's pose. And then again, just kind of think about sinking. Propping if that still feels good. This time, take your hands back by your heels and let your shoulders roll forward as well. come to sit up on your heels. So the weight of your upper body into the floor is giving you that stretch. If it's too much, you release some of that upper body weight by lifting your hips. So propping with a block, using a blanket, whatever you need to bring the floor to you, just like we talked about before. So here, if you need to stay propped for sure. Otherwise, maybe the knees open a little bit, the heels outside of the hips, and your bottom sinking closer to the floor increases the stretch. Okay? So just kind of see where you are here and let gravity stretch your quads and your feet and your shins and all. Right? Thinking about keeping the body upright for now anyway. So listening to your body, if you do want to add on for this stretch, you can move a little deeper just by, removing your props, right? Or leaning back a little bit. So if your hips are up high, don't go crazy. Maybe just hands to heels, right? Tucking the tailbone under, the more you lean the upper body back, the more you're letting gravity work with your stretch here. And it's a big one for sure. We haven't done a ton of this. So if it's too much, it's too much, and you come out when you need to come out. If you can drop an elbow to the floor back there. Again, if your hips are up really high, this doesn't make any sense, don't do it. Or two, you can drop down to your shoulders if that's you. Try not to let your head just flop back though. Keep the chin tucked a bit. And again, just feeling gravity act on the stretch here. And you take more or less of that as the body needs, right? Sometimes you can go deeper. Sometimes the body's like, okay, that's enough. We're going to take just a couple more breaths wherever you've chosen to be. If you haven't already, gently make your way back up to a neutral place. And then nice and easy, come forward. Maybe tap your feet, roll your ankles, stretch your legs, whatever you need there. All right, so come around. See, restore puts me to sleep. Come around onto your bottom and stretch your legs out nice and long. Making sure that we're sitting upright. We'll sit tall at first, reach the arms up, and hinge forward into fold. So normally I talk about keeping the shoulders down and back and your head in line with your spine and your legs nice and straight, but forget all that right now. So let yourself just kind of roll into it. If you want to bend in through your knees, that's fine. Try to keep your toes pointing toward the ceiling though. But just let your shoulders relax, let your head relax, and feel how different that is. Now, hopefully this is different than what we normally do. And if you wanted to prop up here, so you can sort of lean forward and rest into it. So re-lengthen your spine though. Now find your proper posture again. And hinge back up. Bring the soles of the feet together. Let the heels draw in wherever they are. Try to let your legs relax. So if you wanted to prop up, you could prop up, right? Whatever you got there. And we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to hinge forward again. And instead of like kind of pulling against your ankles like sometimes we do, or pressing the elbows down into the inner thigh, forget all that. And again, just let yourself just kind of release forward. Prop up if you need to prop up in the middle here. It might have to be a really big prop, I don't know. Find your alignment again. Lift your spine, take your shoulders down and back, and then gently hinge back up. Go ahead and stretch your legs out. Wiggle them around a little bit. So if you have props, keep them handy. All right, we're gonna roll down on the floor without the props at first anyhow. All right, so go ahead and roll on back. Draw the knees into the chest. Open your knees more to the sides of your body. And then take your shins vertical, so it looks like your feet are stepping on the ceiling. We are gonna help gravity a little bit here. If you can grab the soles of your feet, great. If not, maybe a strap across the ball down to the foot, or hang on to the backs of your thighs. And we're just gonna kind of pull down, bringing, in your mind anyway, bring your knees to the floor, right? And rather than pulling necessarily, you can just kind of let the arms hang, using gravity completely. Or you could actively pull a little bit. And you might find that your bum rolls up off the floor. That's fine for now, for today. And then gently release, taking the feet to the floor. So we're gonna take a reclined twist here, adding more or less weight out to the twist, right? So let's go ahead and open the arms out into a T position. Shift your hips over to the right edge of your mat and drop your legs to the left. A little bit of body weight. If you extend the right leg, taking your toes over toward your left hand, that adds a little bit more. You can extend the left one too, but the left one by itself doesn't really do anything. And then let your right leg just be heavy. Let your right shoulder be heavy into the floor. Sometimes it doesn't like to stay put if you extend the leg, right? You could also prop out there. So if your foot doesn't hit the floor, it still has something to sort of lean on. Take just a couple more breaths. Notice if you're a little deeper than you were when you first got here into this twist thing. And then we'll go ahead and bend at the knee. Come on back to center. Switch the hips over to the left edge and start again just by letting the legs fall to the right. And that might be plenty of gravity. Yeah. Rest back into it. Rest your legs, rest your shoulders especially. And then if you want to add taking the left leg straighter, you take it straighter. If it doesn't quite hit the floor and you want to lean it on something, go ahead. But again, the idea of just letting the body weight sink. And gently making your way back out of that again. Coming back to the middle. So here is that fabulous chest opener that I was talking about before. So the rolled towel or extra mat, right? I like this bolster, but it's pretty high, so you decide, right? It's gonna go long ways under that. If it's not super high, you don't have to worry too much. But if it is higher, you want to have your pelvis on it, right? And then you are going to lay over it, aligned with your spine, keeping your head supported. So if it's too short, you may want to fold up a blanket and put that under your head, right? So find where you can be that your spine is comfortable. If it's too skinny and too hard, that would be very comfortable, right? So adjust if you need to adjust. And you can prop yourself to death in this, right? But as much as you can, make yourself comfortable here. Letting your shoulders roll back. You can keep your feet flat on the floor. You can extend your legs out long. Again, if it's really wobbly, just make yourself stable, right? Whatever that looks like. You could take the soles of your feet together. You could take legs up the wall here if that's you. Again, tons of places to sort of prop and readjust to get the stretch exactly where you want it. The arms can stay down kind of by your sides, palms face up. You could do palms down if it's too much, right? Or you could start to lift your arms, maybe in line with your shoulders. Maybe more in a V. And you can prop your arms here if your bolster is really high and you needed to put a blanket underneath your hands so they can relax. You could do the grabbing opposite elbow here. Just find where the stretch feels best for you. And if you like it and your prop isn't high enough, maybe consider doubling up your roll or getting a bolster, because this is like one of my favorite things ever. I forgot how much I loved it. You could even do like a cactus arms here with your elbows bent. Elbows in line with the shoulders. And notice if one arm is a little bit different than the other. And it's really normal, don't worry about it, but just notice it. Because when we notice things, we tend to sometimes be able to improve them. Right? Balancing out the body as much as we can. We're going to take just a couple more breaths here. You could stay here for a Shavasana type thing if you wanted to, for sure. We're going to gently make our way out of that. So changing the arms, changing the legs, slowly rolling off your mat of your roll, bolster, towel, whatever. And then just lay flat for a moment. Or maybe not flat, maybe feet flat, but you get the idea. Neutral on your spine. And even here, just really light gravity. I mean, we're always supposed to do that here, but really, really focus. Get really heavy into the floor. Just a few moments being present in your body. And if you want to stay here or you want to take a deeper shavasana, maybe legs up the wall, something else very restorative, for sure stay. Otherwise, very gently make your way up to a seated position. Sitting well. Bringing palms to touch. And going to the light within. Namaste. So yeah, yoga can look really different, right? Depending on what you need, what you're practicing, how you're feeling that particular day. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed that. Just something a little bit different. I remembered that stretch and it was like, ding. One of my favorite things. So feel free to comment, share, make suggestions, requests. Otherwise, have a great weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Thanks.